To the 8-week strength training program. I am so glad that you're here. Now, before we get into the app, I wanted to make sure that communication is set and that you get emails from me. So if you didn't get emails from Candace at fromtherootsblog.com, you will be getting an email series from ConvertKit, and it shows Candace from the Roots, just so that you're set, because I provide updates on the program, anything mindful. Like for this first email, I would definitely check this out before you start your program, because I have information here is like what to expect. So as a little recap, True Coach has a very general quick intro video walkthrough to show how to log your workouts, track progress, and communicate with me. So I won't go too much in detail with that on this video. But I also show like Amazon favorites and gear lists. So you know that this program is very minimal, but the equipment that is used and you may not have, like I love using a pad for a barbell when I do hip thrusts. That is in here as well, because Amazon is just very affordable. So just make sure that you have this email or things from Candace at fromtherootsblog.com. And if not, just check out your spam folder and look at it that way, and then, check that it's safe so that you get these emails. Okay, now obviously you've gotten an email from True Coach. Now this is where you're getting the workout of the day. It gives you reminders. It gives you a PDF of it as well if you don't have the app. Now I am showing you on desktop, but again, download the app and have it on your phone, because it's just super easy to bring with you at the gym. That's why I have this this hosting app, just because I think it's just so much easier than printing off PDF. But obviously you do you. All right, so you're going to get emails from True Coach as well as me from ConvertKit or my direct email. So now that that's done, let's go into the app itself. So your app is going to look like this, and you obviously started here because that's why you are watching this video. All right, so within this day as well, whatever your day one is, it is going to show you lower body 1, week 1. Now that is the very day 1 of the workout. Now, I'm just going to view this real quick. Obviously, you have options to print. However, add to your calendar, which is I love that. My type A loves that. But let's just kind of generally walk through this real fast. So warm up and everything, I am very detailed, especially week 1, because I just want to make sure that you're set up. So we talk about RPEs, tempo, ranges, things like that. And I give you demo videos. So I give you warm up. This is what 90 or glute bridge march, and this is a video of what that looks like. So you have demo videos. That's why I do like the app version, especially if you're not really familiar with movements. And then we've got the week 1, I'm very detailed and giving you coach notes as well as form cues, because I feel like that's so important. So hip thrust, especially any type of thrusting, anything when it comes to your hip pelvic complex, it is very important to make sure that your form is spot on. So you can do a video if you want to, so I can do a form assessment. You can definitely add that in here. You can also enter results. So right here, 3 sets at 10 reps at this tempo, so RP. So you can put, set 1 at, let's just do 95 pounds. And then you can put set 1, 95, 105, however you want to. So you can add that. Now that's good for me as well, just to see where you're at, but it's good for you so that you can track your progress week to week. So as much detail in here as possible is great for you as well. And then when you're done with a workout, you can check off however you want to do that. And so A1 to A2, this is a superset, so that's what that means. And I'll go into documents later so you can make sure that you may not know, I guess, like gym jargon and workout jargon. I have that in there as well. All right, so again, very lengthy with the details, and it even shows view exercise history. So let's just say in week 2, you can see what you added in week 1, so that you know, okay, if we're increasing our RP, what did I do the week out before? It's all in there. So I love that feature. All right, now you can go through the entirety of this workout, and then you have a finisher and a cool down. And so you can check off these things. My type A loves it. So if you don't, sometimes you may not be able to finish everything. So that's where you can leave that unblank. And then if you wanted to go back and take care of that, you can. And then you can finish the workout. I love doing that because it just lets you know that you checked it off. And then you can add a question or comments at the bottom of your workout and video assessment. Emojis, a GIF, like you could just be like, love that, or that was awful. And you can give me a GIF, like this was, of how you truly feel. I love that kind of stuff. And then you send it off that way. Okay. So I won't go too much in more because, again, those tutorials on True Coach is really awesome. It gives you the entirety of this app. But I just want to get into the specific of what this program offers. So when you go into your account, this is the big part, is your documents. So before you begin foundations of the strength program, please check this out because this helps you to understand RP, activation, tempo, training flow, all the things, especially if you're not familiar on how to work out in this type of structure. Okay. And we do talk about the core pelvic hip complex, that central nervous system. A lot of, if you've been an HTMA client or nutrition client, I'm always about talking about parasympathetic state versus sympathetic. And so we talk about the central nervous system because working out is also a stressor. And I won't get into the weeds of that, but I just want to make sure that you're set up because a lot of people who are doing strength program are just basically tired of HIIT and boot camps and CrossFit and things of that sort. So that's a big part of why you're here as well. So we're very much, that is the focus. And then we just get into just like 101 of RPs, what that looks like. This is what we do each week. So I give you this detailed in your workouts as well. But this is just reiteration of what that looks like and what the goal is, especially if you're not familiar with what our rate of perceived exertion looks like. Tempo. This is awesome for my ladies. If they're cycle syncing, this is how your cycle impacts your training. So depending on what phase you're in, this is just going to be very helpful for you to figure out the intensity of how you need to work out and how you need to modify if that's the case. Getting core pelvic hip complex, and then putting everything together. So I'm just very type A, and I just want to make sure that you're set for success. So that is what that document entails. And then also I have another document in here, is fueling your strength. So protein guides, because that's just the number one thing I get all the time from clients, personal training and nutrition, is how do I increase protein? So everybody gets access to this as well. And I give you examples on how you can increase your protein intake. And then I also offer snacks, especially pre or post workout. It's super helpful for you on that. Okay, so you know where the documents are. I highly recommend looking at those before you start your training. And then you can do progress pictures. Utilize this app. The more information you want in it to get out of this, you have 2 months. That's a pretty long time. I would highly recommend doing that. And then you can also integrate your wearable. So Apple Watch, you can add it on here, and so that it can track. Or if you have a Whoop, just whatever type of wearable you have, you can put that. And so this is just a really nice feature, and you can add goals, things like that. So let me just make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay. So one last thing I'll say, and before I'm going to switch to our premium people, but this again is just for core and everybody who has added this program. If you need extra time due to vacation or other reasons, let me know ahead of time, because there is a $25 hosting fee to extend access. Because again, this is 8 weeks, so 2 months, and you have 2 months to complete it. So sorry, if you need more time and this was the only program that you wanted to do, you didn't want to go to 2.0, so the next training cycle, or you didn't want to work one-on-one online programming or personal training with me, then we definitely need to discuss options, because I just have this platform and it's a monthly subscription. So I just need to add on a $25 fee so that you can have it for an additional month. All right. So I'm about to go to our premium members because there's more features there. And if you have any questions as a core member, please let me know. All right, so premium members. Now you get access to nutrition, and I love this app because it integrates with MyFitnessPal. And I'll show you options as well if you don't like MyFitnessPal. That's just the number one popular macro counting. But when we have our one-on-one, so we have a consult to go over macro counting or tracking. I mean, it doesn't have to be very specific to macros. If you want, just to have somebody to keep you accountable on what your food looks like, or fiber specifically, or protein, it doesn't matter. You have that feature. So just as somebody who wants to maintain, if they want to maintain their health or whatever, or if they're wanting to have lean muscle mass or fat loss, whatever the goal is, you have this option on your app, and it's that fork and the knife. Now, this is where I input your macros, and so you can enter everything either integrated in MyFitnessPal or manually. And so this is where everything is going to get stored. Now, if you do not want to use that feature, you will have access to my Practice Better. And that is a portal that I also provide additional resources and guides. But this is what a client portal will look like on on Practice Better. So if you go into food, this is where you can add everything. So this one is integrated with Chronometer. And so your daily targets will look like this. Now I'll just give you a day example of what that would look like. So you can input everything. It would automatically input, do the macro range on this. And this is also a cool feature I love about Practice Better, is that you can provide hunger satiation, like your level of hunger. Where did you eat this? How did you feel before and after? We can also add mood and energy and bowel movements if you had gut issues. Like, we can get as specific as you want with this, which I love. And then you can see your daily targets and totals here. So that's the equivalent. And then we have water as well. So I can also add different goals for you too, and that will be shown up here as well, so that you have access. And then I will annotate. So when I see stuff like this and I see consistency and I see that you've met your targets and things like that, I'm there for accountability. So that's why I love Practice Better for this feature. I haven't worked too much with TrueCoach, but I imagine that this is going to be easy as well, just because MyFitnessPal is a great integration. Okay, now that is really the big takeaway that you have if you are a premium member, is this, because it is so huge, and that's really for you to guide and be very specific with your goals. So this is the option that you have. And again, Practice Better is where I have more additional resources if that's what you want, or I can email those to you as well. And then if you do HTMA testing on top of that, your program for the 4-week metabolic course is in here. Your protocols are in here for your HTMA test and what we find, and your supplement protocol and all that. I won't go into the weeds because this is not specifically on that. And I would tell you more in our consult. But this is exactly what that will look like. And again, you can do progress pictures. We can add metrics into this as well, and specific goals. And that's where everything will be stored for you as a premium member. All right. If anybody has questions, please let me know. If not, congratulations for starting the 8-week program. And I'm so excited to see where the journey takes you. All right. Bye.